Yo, what it do? It's your boy, I'm back. Voice of the culture, man. I got my special guest today, man. My guy, man. This guy right here, he's tapped into everything.
What's going on? What's going on?
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the show, my man Po.
What up, brother?
What's going on, kid?
Man, I got a lot going on today, but everything is smooth, man. I'm trying to make it moves, trying to make everything connect and stuff like that. I'm not normally on the other side of things, so
right. So it's different.
Yeah.
You the guest.
Yeah.
First of all, let the people know about your podcast, man. Let the people know about
well,
that.
If you ain't been on Instagram under Stone, I probably tagged you, DM'd you, Attention Whores Podcast. At Attention Whores Podcast _ I believe it's Attention _Whores _ Podcast to be on the safe side, but check that out. That's on Instagram and is on YouTube on my Klaw TV channel. Go to Klaw TV and you'll find all the videos on, and you'll actually find some musical videos on there also. So check that out. And I'm just trying to hit them when I can, man. I'm just trying to repeatedly stay in people's faces. That's all I say. You know
man, that's what it's about. Yo, man, first of all, congratulations on your show at the A-Loft.
Oh, thank you. Yes, shout out to let me make sure I do this right, because I always catch me off guard. What's his name? Rashid Warren's management. He has a showcase going on there monthly, right?
Right.
And I had to connect because I know my homegirl Bubbles from years ago. I used to do music with her. And she does the hosting there.
Okay.
So I hit her up a couple times, and they let me go. And I believe like a couple weeks ago, almost 2 to 3 weeks ago, I went out there, performed, had fun. Watch some other artists perform, see how hungry it is. Plus, I ain't been on stage in a while.
Right.
So it was kind of my way of just being like, you know what, I need to stop being comfortable. You know what I mean?
Okay.
And I'm gonna tell you honestly, I didn't do the greatest of jobs.
Okay.
You know what I mean? I stumbled on that one, but it also taught me like, yo, that's all right. I can't rely on just being, yo, I'm that dude all the time. I don't want to curse. I don't know if I.
Nah, do your thing, man.
Yeah, all right.
Talk to the culture. Talk to the culture, man.
You know what I mean? Sometimes you get comfortable and like, yeah, I got that, but you got to test yourself, yo. I went and did that, and I was like, all right, I gotta brush up now. I gotta really pay attention. You know what I mean? Because I've been like juggling a lot of balls now. Pause. I've been juggling a lot of things because I'm doing the podcast. I'm also I work. I take care of my mother at home. I make sure the family's right. You know what I mean? I also do music when I can. You know what I mean? Stick to that. And I'm always promoting, always marketing, always promoting. Like that's where I'm at with it. So.
Right. So let's talk about that, man. Let's talk about this. Where did the music career start for you, man?
Music started when I moved to Jersey.
Okay.
Here.
From where?
From the BX, Bronx.
Okay.
Park Towers, they call it RPTs, real dangerous. They say 1 in, 1 out, death towers, all that shit. These youngins is running shit. So, be careful out there for real. Yeah, I was raised up there, moved as soon as the Bloods touched down. That's like 93. They touched down and I was out, and good thing because I would have got caught up in some shit. I wasn't really like there. So I moved to Jersey and I met some cats that was into music, you know what I mean? And the same cats that was into music, they was also into like they also transitioned to being Muslim, and after that 5%ers. So I was like coming up with these guys, and they were kind of like outside of the realm of the cool kids,
right? But
still cool to like, yo. Plus, we were like the only dudes in school that was really, really rapping. Everybody was wannabes because back then, like, back then it wasn't everybody was a rapper and everybody was a producer. It was like maybe 2-3 rappers, and you'd be lucky if you find a producer.
Lucky if you had a DJ.
DJ, anything like that. But now everybody's everything, so you know what it is. So one of my friends was just like, yo, write a rhyme. I was like, I ain't writing a rhyme. So I wrote a rhyme, and it wasn't the best rhyme. But I always wrote. I always was a writer. I always was somebody that was creative, and thought of like short stories. I wrote a poem that was published years ago and stuff that started a little thing between like friends of mine, but that was squashed. But yeah, I was always a writer, so I just transitioned, and I was always like someone that drew. Like I used to be the dude, and I used to be the kid that would collect comic books and look at the pictures and draw it and do all that Spider-Man stuff and stuff. So I took that energy that I had there and just transferred it into like writing and doing music. And then after I was rapping for a while, about time in my college days, I was rapping. I was getting better with it.
Time out.
Go ahead.
I want to know your first MC name.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Come on. Everybody I need to know the first MC name. Come on.
My first MC name.
The first MC name. Not the second or third.
People don't.
I wanted to be a rapper too at one point.
People ain't even used to Klaw Po right now. They still call me Po, P-O, and it's all good. But I just had to, I couldn't use that all the time because I do shows and they think I'm really a P.O. or something. So I'm like, So I just threw the Klaw in there. But my first rapper MC name was Dr. Mindbender. And people that know me are laughing right now because they know that. Yeah, because it was a G.I. Joe name or something.
That's what I'm about to say. Because the Klaw, all your shit is coming from the comic books.
Yeah,
Klaw Po.
Yeah. This is what was inspired.
That was your.
I was a comic book head. I was a video game head. Like I wasn't the dude on the street. Like I wasn't the street dude. Like I was in the street. Like running around, but I would fight. But I ain't trying to get into that because I know
that wasn't you.
Yeah, it wasn't me, and I didn't want to go there because I had a bad temper, and they would go left. So I'm like, chill with that.
Right.
So I was in the corner, drawing and stuff, and all my inspirations come from like, the first hip hop song that got my attention because my sister was playing like Audio 2, Milky, and all that stuff.
Classics.
But the one thing that caught my attention, because I was like a kid, like in comic books, cartoons, and stuff, was I think 84, 85, 86. There's before Dougie Fresh did it, it was some dudes that did Inspector Gadget over. Inspector Gadget. They used that part, and I used to watch Inspector Gadget, so it's like, oh, that you could do that? I never thought you could do that. Like, and then Dougie did it on the show and all that. So I was like, oh, all right. So that's the first thing that caught my attention. But everything else was like movies and theater, and like I used to be into like scores. Like I know composers and stuff like Danny Elfman and John Williams. They do like Star Wars and all types of these like epic sounds. So my thing for music was always like I think of like a scene in a movie.
Right.
So that's how I kind of compose my music, even when I'm writing it, producing it. Yeah, I'm thinking, all right, was this the chase scene? This the scene where the girl right there, this scene where y'all in love. I'm just seeing scenes in my head. That's how that's how I'm able to take that and transfer it into music.
That's dope. So, that's dope. That's creativity, though.
Yeah. So Dr. Mindbender was the first name, though.
Fuck it, man. I mean, it is what it is. You know what I mean? My first MC name when I thought I was a fake rapper.
What was it? What was the first?
This shit is so simple. D-Ski.
D-Ski? That's it?
That was it. I mean,
but see, you can have a name like that too.
I'm a 70. I was born in 74. So that's telling my age.
You're only 6 before me.
Right. So D-Ski, that was just the basic shit.
Yeah. You know what I mean? You take your name and cut it around something.
Right. You had D Nice.
Yeah, you're right. And he's still D Nice.
He's still D Nice.
Right.
Oh shit, D Ski. I can't use D Nice because that was BDP back then. You know what I mean? But when he dropped that 808, my name is D Nice.
It's funny now. Pardon me. It's funny now. It don't matter now. There's so many same people with the same names.
That shit is unbelievable, man. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you remember?
There you go.
That was the name?
Bad Boys.
You're right. If you YouTube it, you could find it. I've seen it one time. They like in a junkyard or something like that, and they got a girl in there with like blonde hair or something. I remember.
Shout out to my production guy. Just threw us in the card for the Inspector Gadget. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I don't know if it was called Inspector Gadget. I don't know. They sampled it though.
They sampled it,
and that was the first thing that got my attention. I was like, he playing it. Yeah, got the heavy ass drums and shit.
That's it.
They're gonna play. They're gonna do all that. So yeah, that was the first thing to turn me on to music. You know what I mean? And if you hear like anything I put together musically, like, cause I've had a time where I made beats, produced for people.
So you was pre Kanye, cause we about to get into that.
Okay.
You was pre Kanye before Kanye.
Well, all right, kind of in the same time frame, a little bit.
Well, from my understanding, my nigga, you was doing beats off the PlayStation.
Yeah,
let's
boy.
talk about that shit.
Yeah, I will never escape that. I'll go to my grave with a PlayStation in my hand or something. But yeah, but it's kind of, if you think about it, I'm gonna jump real quick.
Hey, jump. Do you think?
I'm doing the pod now, and I don't have the best, but I'm using what I got to get.
You grinding.
Yeah,
It's
but
the grind.
that's kind of how the PlayStation came into play. I
But
didn't
what
have.
made
I didn't.
you? My thing is, what put the idea? Listen, it's coming from a kid that we all had
Have
PlayStation.
video, yeah.
But nigga, I'm not sitting there thinking about, oh shit, I could do a beat.
I'm
so focused on the fucking blowing the goddamn disc and playing the goddamn
Yeah,
game.
you trying to play Tekken or something.
Fuck a beat. So you was sitting at home at a moment.
But all right, I'll give you like the layout of it, and I think I said this on my other pod, really, but before now everybody use Fruity Loops or FL Studios or Reason or whatever.
Right.
Everybody has a computer production system, right? PlayStation was before that. So when I was doing it, nobody was really doing it. Only a few heads was using the PlayStation.
Not one person,
like 2 or 3 people
in
I
my
knew.
circle that was even on somebody that I knew. That
My
was
boy
doing
Sai was using it, and my boy Bad Sport was using it, and they all used it in different ways, and they all had hot beats on there. But what I did is my father told me about some video game that made music, and he knew I played video games, so he told me about it, and I went and got it.
Right.
And then when I got it, my boy Smarty that I always do music with, we worked at the same job, so we would come back to the crib, and he'd end up making a beat on the system, and I'd be there, I'd be so tired, I'd fall asleep. I wake up, he has a whole new beat. So he did that a few times. I was like, yo, that's my joint. So I started getting into it then. So I started getting into it, and I was more on like how the sounds are. Like, I'm a sound guy, like I told you, movies, theater,
Right.
like choruses and stuff like that. And on some real stuff, like you said, yeah, I'm Kanye before Kanye. We have a lot of similarities. You know, at one point I played off that name with how he does stuff. But we like a lot of like soul sample records. You know what I mean? That's part of it. We like a lot of soul sample records and things of that nature. So that's where we go. But I also like movies and theater and theatrical stuff. So I would look for sounds that sound like that. I would look for sounds that sound like, would pique my attention and stuff like that. But then when I met, like I said, when I met my man, I'm thinking the names, DJ Static, like I had on a podcast. When I met him, he was making beats over MPC. Now back then, MPCs was gods as far as like making beats or producing in hip hop. Like you had to have one. You had to have certain keyboards. I don't want to get the names mixed up. Boys, my dudes had like Tritons and big ass computerized.
So that was basically the goal. That was to get that shit. We got to get that.
Because this is like the late 90s, early 2000s now.
Okay.
So now things are getting more available. Like now certain people, like you could kind of make your spot a studio if you have the money and stuff like that.
Right.
So I took the PlayStation, I started making beats, and I went to beat battles, and I saw how they would create these beats that had like themes to it, and they would have like they would have parts where it would stop, and they would have a sample in it, and they'd flip the beat and come back, and I was like, oh, so it got me amped. Kind of, it's real similar to kind of like a rap battle today, kind of how that you would set it up, kind of. So,
it's beat battles.
But it's beat battles. Like what they were supposed to do with verses and they didn't it was a beat battle. That's how it started. But because people, if you don't know the beat, unless you ahead, because it is a community of people that just go there just to hear beats. Like we were in New Eurekan doing beat battles, sold out. You know what I mean? Like it was like you felt like a real superstar back then on some real stuff. So I would do that, and then I would just get into my sample game, and I go to the library, and I would get like all the CDs and sample what it sounded hot, and come back, make a beat. I used to make beats. I used to wake up and make a beat.
Wow.
I would go to sleep, make a beat, put that on, boom, wake up. Let me hear that. All right, change this. Nah. All right, take this sound. I'm gonna make a whole new beat out of that. I used to do it like that, like all the time. But as time went on, my appreciation for making the beats or making the production. Well, I don't want to say beats, because I would still produce, because I would produce from afar, like things I would know, like kind of on some puffy stuff. Like I don't really want to make the actual beat, but I would definitely orchestrate it.
Okay.
Because I still hear things in my head like that. But just making the beat now, it doesn't really hit me to do that now. Because everything is so easy go now. Like, there's no passion to it. Right. It's kind of hard. Like that's why I did that show. Because I want to keep the passion of going on stage. Okay. You know what I mean? Like, I've always been on stage since I was 4 years old. And I was dancing to Michael Jackson, and they gave me $20. You know when the old folk put you on, your parents put you in front of yo, dance for 'em, you know what I mean? Yeah. And I get money for it. I'm like,
yeah, that was your little $20 Thanksgiving money.
$20 went a long way in the
'80s.
Shit. Shoot, that
was Diddy bopping, right?
You can get a lot of candy with that.
You was Diddy bopping with that, definitely. But now, years, you've been in the game for a minute, champ.
Yeah.
You've been involved.
Yeah. I've been
You've been around. You did some traveling.
Mm-hmm.
You went to college. Mm-hmm. Let's talk about college, man, a little bit.
That's kind of good. College was a good. I went to Bergen. I went to Bergen Community. I went to Teaneck High out here. When I moved from the Bronx, I went to BF, and then I went to Teaneck High. Okay. Then I went to Bergen Community College as BBC or whatever.
I mean, you went and got education. Don't give a fuck where you went.
No, but I'm gonna tell you a story about it because I was thinking about this recently. The first year I fucked around, but I learned some shit too. Like, I think our creative wise, I got better in the first year, but I wasn't paying attention to like the schooling and you know, if you late, you don't have to go to class. They give it your option to fuck up, really.
Right, hang yourself.
Yeah, hang yourself.
Your money.
Yeah, so
it's your student.
So this is what I did. Don't ever do this. So this is what I did. So I got financial aid, and I guess it was my ego or whatever. I got financial aid. And then I failed. And then they said, listen, you could come back, but just write a letter to like the administrator or whatever saying reason why, this, that, and there. And I could have got creative and did it, but I was like, I ain't doing that. So I was like, I got money at the time. I had no bills. And I had a job. I don't know what job I had, but it seemed like I had a lot of money at the time. I might have been getting $300, $400 a week or something like that. Who knows?
But the responsibility level was totally different.
Yeah, because I ain't had nothing to pay. I ain't have no phone. I ain't no car at the time. I was just on foot, hoofing it. So I'm like, all right, whatever. I'll pay for my credits. So I'll pay for my. I went back to school, paid for the credits. I think 12 credits or whatever. And I really tried. I bust my ass. I really tried to get on point. But I had this one class that I wanted to take. It was a philosophy class. And I love to, like, as you can see, I like to talk. Like, I talk a lot, and, you know what I mean? I like to tell these little stories and stuff.
You're a philosopher.
Thank you, brother. I appreciate it. I try.
KRS-One, you're a philosopher.
Hey, the BX, man. You know what I mean? That's legendary. So, where was I at? So, I'm in this philosophy class, and I remember the teacher asked this question. Now, I don't remember what the question is, but I remember the response to the answer I gave him.
Right.
So I answered it, right? I answered it, and I didn't look at the book. Like, I guess I didn't go through and look for the answer in the book. So I answered it, and he told me verbatim like this: Anthony, you are 100% correct, but that's not what's in the book. I looked at him like, I never went back to that class again. And I think after that, me just dealing with college and trying, because my life, I've always been trying to be accepted. Like, I've always been trying to be like, okay, that's in rap and anything I do. Okay. I've always tried to be accepted by either the popular people or even the unpopular people. Like, I need somebody
you want the masses.
Yeah, but I get on stage.
When I say the masses is both parties.
That's true, but I'm just saying, at one point, I just wanted to be a part of something.
You wanted to be a part of something.
Yeah, and when the school
Not to cut you off, though, but it's funny because I always tell my man this. I say, yo, brothers, and this is not a playoff on what you're saying. This is some real shit. Me and him talk almost every day. I ain't going to put his name out there. I know he's laughing. I always tell him, I say, yo, niggas want to be a part of something. That's the biggest thing with niggas. I say niggas, and I don't want to take everybody. Please don't take it personal. We're black. We strong. We all rocking. But and I'm gonna say I'm gonna flip it. Brothers always want to be a part of some shit, man.
Yeah.
And that's a fact.
Well, especially black people. I think black people
our
feel
culture.
Even will help another nationality just for like to get that energy reciprocated.
Right.
You know what I mean? And when we don't, that's why we like, yo, what the hell? You know what I mean? So it's like we always, first of all, let's be 100. Everything was stolen, right? We are the creators. If you don't agree, just do your homework. And when I say history, I mean real history, not this history they give you, because that's a bunch of lies and misconceptions and stuff. But I'm just saying, we are the ones that make this machine go. And when we realize that, and we put our foots to the ground about that, then we could get something moving. But we're too busy trying to be like them.
Right.
We're too busy trying to be we're trying to be accepted.
Right.
And that's the good thing about the pod, because with my pod, I could just be me. Like on the pod, I'm laughing half the time. I'm hardly pod. Like I gotta and it really I was gonna rant it out, but I was like, nah, I don't even want to do this. One of my peoples that I considered a friend, or that I considered an associate at some time, he would always tell me what I should do. And he wanted to be a part of it. And I'm like, bro, you not even doing this. How you going to tell me how I have to do it your way? This is my show. It's not your show. Right. Like, you can't tell me that. You could give me criticism about it. But when it's coming from you and I know how you go, I'm like, nah, you trying to steer it so it's beneficial to you.
Right.
And I was like, bro, you got all the equipment right now, more equipment than me. Go do your pod. Crickets. Why? You got nothing to offer. And that's just the truth. You got nothing to offer. Nobody wants to hear you talk. Nobody wants to, you know what I mean? Only you want to hear that. So, like I said, we have to get out of our own way. Once we get out of our own way, like the last 4 years of my life, since my father died at the end of 2016, right? And I went through that, and I realized how much of a superstar my father was at his funeral.
Okay.
At his funeral.
Right.
OGs stepped out.
Right.
OGs came out. With this little bow-legged motherfucker that would talk shit and get everybody to like him. He was the most charming asshole. He'd curse you out and you love him because you knew he wasn't coming from that place.
Right.
You just knew where it was from.
Right.
Street nigga to the end.
Right.
Right? I was more sheltered. My mom, she's more like, yo, come here, do this, da-da-da. Like, she's more bougie-ish type.
Structured as well.
Yeah.
I mean, but it's good to have that balance in the house.
No, definitely. Because if it was just my father, I would have been running everywhere.
Right. Well, that's great. So I understand that. You know what I'm saying? Having both, and you was blessed to have both parents.
Yes. That's another thing. Yo, you don't understand how when I was growing up, I didn't realize how I had it compared to everybody else around me, and how jealousy was around, and I didn't pinpoint it then.
Yeah, because at the end of the day, y'all are so close, and y'all young, so it doesn't really it's different because I understand that. I'm one of the few out of my crew that had both parents.
Yeah, it's kind of like, and people was like, I didn't have no father, and I'm like, yeah, but me and my father, but I that's just me being selfish in my own mind, because
you and your father might have been, me and my pops was like that, but I love him to death. That's my God. My pops is my hero, my role model, and my idol.
But see, that's it. When you're growing up, you kind of don't see that.
Of course, because
we
see
think
that they want us to do what they want.
Yeah,
it's because we're young,
and you don't realize how much alike you are. You're probably his splitting image, or if not, in actions. You feel what I'm saying?
And thought.
Like I look in the mirror. I'm like, damn, this nigga's still here.
I mean, but he is though.
I'm like, yo, he's really here, and I hear him in the head, and it's real crazy. Yo, shout out to my niece Layla. We just had a birthday party. I had to do it on Zoom, and shout out to BJ and Imani. They have the baby shower that I just ran from. I had to stick this in. We was going. Well, I just came from a baby shower, and I'm gonna run right back when I can. But you know what I mean. I gotta shout them out because I don't want my brothers to kill me.
Nah, you good? Because I appreciate your scheduling. You know what it was.
I'm really all about. I let a lot of opportunities pass me by or slip up. I'm really a lot about opportunities now. Like I'm in my early 40s, but I feel like so rejuvenated, and that's not on no Jay-Z type line shit. It's just
this is what you feel. Is what you
feel,
feel, bro.
I just feel more comfortable being me. Like I was saying, like the 4 years after my father passed, I just started learning who I was again.
Okay.
Because before I was trying to be other people to fit in.
I got you.
So now it's like I'm just me.
That's dope.
Take it or leave it.
It is what it is.
It is what it is.
Let's jump to the music, because you've been doing the music for a while. You
Yeah,
did a lot of traveling with the music.
Yeah, I did a little something with. All right, my biggest musical, I guess, Elmo is the number one thing that people remember me for here. Elmo was popping out here. You know what I mean? We did it. I did it in 2006. I had this idea to what the fuck? I had this idea. No, this is what happened. A girl I used to deal with in Jersey put me on to the Elmo club, Baltimore club or Jersey club one. Like there's one where they sample them and it's like one of them joints. I don't know if it's Baltimore or Jersey. Don't mind me. She put me onto that, and I was talking. I was like, "Yo, that'd be kind of ill. Someone just flipped that on some regular hip hop stuff." So I had that was in my
catalog
since then, and then my niece was downstairs playing with an Elmo toy. Kept popping up, Elmo song, and I was just like looking at it, like, "Oh, let me get
it was
that."
right there in your face.
So I sampled it, sampled the vocals, put it on, made a beat. The beat was the first beat was trash. The first drum track was trash. It was like some industrial drum shit. And I remember I let my boy Smarty hear it, and he wasn't too thrilled about it. So I was like, all right, I put it on ice for a minute. And then Chicken Noodle Soup happened. This is like 06, yeah.
Okay.
Chicken Noodle Soup happened, and they everybody blew up. That's when the Harlem, like I call it the Harlem Light Renaissance happened. Cause I know all them dudes out there. Shout out to all my Harlem dudes. And Bronx dudes. So once that happened, I was like, all right, everybody's dancing to that. I'm gonna just take that drum track and put it on there. So I took the drum track, put it under there, right? Then I started doing the whole marketing with the Elmo hat, Elmo shirt, all types of stuff. I started performing it in the high schools out here, selling the CD, giving the CD away, and it started brewing out here. Like I was a little local superstar for a minute out here for the Elmo, and then I took it to I did shout out to Mental Supreme. Told him I got an album on the show too. Shout out to Mental. I went to, he had a showcase in the Pyramid.
Okay.
So I started performing it there, and I remember this is how Mental do all the time. I do, because I always would go to the grittiest spots and do the most poppin'est, commercialist, hookiest song.
I mean, it's a catch though.
I know, but you know they want to hear like,
they want to hear
and
Murder Kill.
I'm going there with like colorful stuff, like yo, doing dance moves, and they like, what the fuck? So I remember Mitchell would always be like, yo, with the crowd, like, yo, what the fuck are you doing? But after I get off, he'd be like, come in. He'd be like, yo, that shit's hot. He'd be like, that shit's hot. Yo, come in, come back next week.
You knew what it
come
was.
Back next week. So he knew what it was. And then we did a big showcase where DJ Envy hosted, and this is a story about Envy real quick. So boom, a few months earlier, we got in Latin Quarter or LQ, whatever they call it now. We went. They had a show where like the Chicken Noodle, Bianca and Lil B and all them. I don't want to disrespect, but they were performing a song. So we went there to promote the CD. So we go in there. We got, I don't know how we got CDs and stuff on us, but we went up there and we got into the VIP. I remember, I don't know if it was Lil Kim, but Jaheim was there. I think it was Miss Jones was there, and we ran into Envy, and he had his boys with him. So I gave him the CD there. This is months before. I gave him the CD there. He looks at it. He laughs at it. He literally puts it down and uses it as a coaster, like puts his drinks on and shit. So I'm like, all right.
It is what it is.
Fast forward to that January of 2007. We do the showcase. I come. We got like a couple girls. Shout out to Kwa. Kwa's one of the girls. This one, my sister. Shout out to Kwa. And at the time, Smarty has this girl, I believe, or a friend, and I had one of my friends, right? So we had them in the shirts and all that. Did the performance. They had like a little twirly ass shake or whatever with everything. It's hooded, hood deep. We brought people there, mad packed in there, street and motherfuckers, all that shit. Boom. Envy liked it. Also, he might have been trying to holler at somebody, but we don't say that. But this is, I don't know. But this is back in the day, so don't hurt me, man. I gotta get on your show at one point. So, they liked it, right? So before Envy left, we're in the mix of everything, and before he leaves, I give him the CD, and I tell him in his ear, I say, "Yo, this time don't use it as a coaster." I wake up the next morning. Mental calls me at 7:30 in the morning. He's like, "Yo, you listening to Hot 97?" I'm like, "No." He's like, "They're playing your song." I said, "What?" He said, "They're playing your song right now." So I go on, I turn on Hot 97 as I'm driving to work, and I hear the end of my song going on. And I'm like, "What the fuck? What do I do now?" I'm ill prepared for all of this happening right now. I'm just going.
That was the blessing.
I'm just going. So I'm like, and from my understanding, they played the song a few times during the day. I believe Angie played it once and another DJ played it. And that was pretty much the lifestyle because he went up there and talked about the showcase and what he liked, who won. Some other dude won, right. But he played my record. You know what I mean? So I'm like, oh, he said, "I like this, da-da-da-da." So I had to track him down. I tracked him down like some months later at like Nyack Mall, Palisades Mall. And he was like, "Yo, he's like, I just signed the Jackie Kids. I just got them a deal. Yo, you gotta get your stuff popping online." And I was like, "All right," and I was just trying to grind from there. And then I took the song to Harlem because everything was happening there, and that's where I met all my dudes in Harlem, DJ Fat Boy, Young Truth, all my fellas out there. You know what I mean? And I started going there from Thursday to Sunday each week, just going to parties, and these are kids that's like younger than me, like right. Going to parties and just being a part of the life and promoting more records, doing records with them. I had a record called Stick 'Em in Harlem where I flipped the Fat Boy Stick 'Em, ha ha ha, Stick 'Em, and that was like a big record in Harlem. Shout out to DJ S. Dot he played that like 7 times. Shout out to Black Caesar, shout out to him because he was endorsing that too. You know what I mean, like. And I had my own little life over out here back in the city. So right. So I'm in the city for 2 years, promoting, recording, running around, getting into all types of shit now because these young niggas is wild and I'm getting into shit. So, you know what I mean? I'm living that life. And then after the 2 years, I came back to start over and do stuff in Jersey more. And I've just been doing it from then. I guess the other biggest record from that would be, shout out to Smarty. Smarty All Crazy, his record Already, which is like the anthem record, you know what I mean? So, and then I had a couple records sprinkled here and there, so I'm good. I know what a record what works with a record. I know, you know what I mean, what sounds and stuff, but that's just coming from me per se, you know what I mean? Some people have their own ways and shit. Right. But I still love making music, you know what I mean? And I still do it, you know what I mean? But I'm just trying to balance everything out. I'm really loving doing the pod. I really love doing the pod.
Let me ask you this as we talk about the pod, because I was gonna get to that next. Okay. Do you think
Am I doing that by accident or?
Huh?
Am I leading you by accident?
Nah. I don't listen, bro. I don't have nothing written down. So we just, we talking, man. Right, you know what I mean? I wanted to talk about that. You know what I'm saying? But do you think not transitioning to different platforms held you back though?
You mean not transitioning to different platforms? Explain.
Well, you produced.
Because I jumped around.
Right. So not kind of
staying jack of all trades, master none, basically.
No, I'm not going to say that. Because you did master everything. Because with learning comes master.
This is true.
Mastery.
But I think.
You know what I mean?
I think.
But like a flagship. Like.
On this.
This is my flagship. And everything else is my kids. You know what I mean?
You know what it is?
This is it. This is the foundation. What everything else is, like one thing had to be the one. I ain't gonna say had because that's putting a ceiling on yourself, but it's not putting a ceiling because like, okay, we know Klaw Po from this. But damn, I ain't know Klaw Po was doing this, that, and the third. Feel what I'm saying?
Yeah, and I kind of.
So do you think jumping around kind of made you not just be able to
not focus enough,
right,
to just
and
capitalize?
that's no disrespect, but I gotta ask that question, though, Ken.
I want questions like this.
You know what I'm saying?
Is things I had to learn in the last 4 years? It's not a problem being wrong or not knowing. All day, you have a chance to learn. I'd use it like Batman with a utility belt. It's just something extra to add on.
Right.
That's all it is. So you could have a point there. You could really have a point there. When I was producing, and I said this on the pod, a lot of people was like, "Yo, your shit is hot, but if you had this, it would be crazy." And I'm like, you're right. And I told Static, I was like, I was in my way. I did not want to transition to other things because I was, one, afraid it wouldn't work or I'd fuck up somehow, or two, I didn't want to take the time to learn it. That's me. That was me, and
that's an honest answer.
That's 100% me. I know that now. That's why I said the passion I have for it now. I would work with somebody that's in it. Like I would work with them, but I don't necessarily want to get into making the product. You know what I mean? When it comes to writing songs or just doing music, I will always do that. Whether
you still writing?
Yes, I come up with ideas all the time.
And I'm not just talking about rap though.
Anything.
Okay.
Songs. I'm right now. I'm on a real hooky wave. You know what I mean? Like I have this project that I'm continuously working on called Ghostwriting for God, and I'm starting a series with that. So
What is it again? Say it again.
Ghostwriting for God.
Wow, that's dope. I like that.
Yeah, thank you.
You need to put that
in the whatchamacallit.
Oh shit.
That's me again too. I'm clumsy and I fuck shit up.
You good money. You know what I mean? It's insurance. That's a great catch, man. Ghostwriting for God, man.
Yeah. Cause you just
put that on the shirt or something.
I got it on the shirt. It's on the wall. So if anybody say, I got that printed already.
It is.
Yeah. Yeah, it's Ghostwriting.
I knew I saw it.
Yeah, it's in gold. So it's kind of hard on it to flex.
Why you not? See what I'm saying, King?
I'm an idea.
Why you not
putting the stamp on it? But you know what? You know what it is?
But not even just the stamp. Like that shit is fire. Ghostwriting for God, because it speaks volumes.
It speaks a lot of volumes. It speaks that I'm in the mirror writing.
And you may not know who I'm writing for.
But that's for everybody. But that's also a state of mind. That's also like a state of mind that was a line that I just came up with one day. And most of my lines are like the original title for the podcast. We're going to get in the podcast. The original title for the podcast was supposed to be a podcast with me and a female. What my podcast is, with shout out to Marlena, Lady Ra. Me and other female. I had a homegirl that's she moved to Virginia. Shout out to Chrissy. We not talking, but it's no beef, whatever. It was supposed to be me and her talking because we used to ride around and she would talk about all the situations she had with people and what it was going like. And I would tell her mine and I was like, yo, this would be good for like some relationship shit. So the original title was Pussy Popping on the Podcast. And that's on the wall. That's the first thing you said.
I saw that one.
Right? So that's what it was. It became Attention Whores because I started adding people to it, and then a lot of people that I added to, shout out to my cousin Tyreek. We ain't talk neither, but I need an apology, but that's it. I just need an apology, bro. That's all it is. But and that's not ego. I really need an apology, and everything is smooth. It was me, her, my cousin Tyreek, who hates everything that's new and loves everything that we grew up on. My boy DJ Bugs, BJ, whose baby shower I just ducked out of, I'm about to duck back into. And it was Jonathan, the one that started the pod with the Attention Whores with me. So that was going to be the one, but everybody had different things to do. And Jonathan later on was just like, yo, let's just do the pod. So it ended up just being me and him. And I'm like, I'm not calling this shit Pussy Popping on the Podcast. There ain't no like, I need some dynamic. So I was like, all right, Attention Whores. And Attention Whores was just throughout my brain. But to be honest, Attention Whores is what everybody's doing. Attention Whores is what you are. You're on your phone right now, looking for attention, whoring for it. Looking for the whores that's on it. Like, honestly, we're all whoring for that attention. Like I said, everybody,
I respect that.
Everybody wants to be accepted.
Right. Everybody wants to be a part of something.
You know what I mean? So
That's good. That, you know what I'm saying, something clicked. Because that also tells me that you're a motivated individual.
Oh, definitely, especially.
And you're very creative.
Yeah, I come up.
And I ain't gonna front, not to cut you off, champ, but I admire that about you. That's one thing since the day one that I've known you.
I've always been like, yo, we could do this.
Right, you always right. That's the exact word. You
Shout out
always,
to Rue.
you know what I mean? And that's his mentality. Yo, we could do this.
Yo, I want to give 100%. Let's shout out the whole Robinson family, 100%. But shout out to Iz, shout out to Grizz, shout out to Maya, and shout out to my little freaking nephew Rue, Jackpot. Yo,
the man.
He really lived up to his name. I gotta give him props.
Of course.
You know what I mean? 100%. Because I remember being in the old room with him, and yo, we would go back and forth. What's this? What's that? And he was very much into like he was in a spot that he's not in anymore, and I'm happy to see him out of it. You know what I mean?
Shout out to Blue Flames, man. I ain't gonna front on them. Shout out to them. I wasn't in the building, but I gotta shout them out. You know what I'm saying? Because that's the family. Shout out to the Blue Flame team, man. Because I heard some great things about that Orange Room. You know what I mean? And we met in the Orange Room.
Yeah, that's
you know
right.
What I'm saying?
Yo, the old Orange Room, old room.
Right.
Yo, that's legendary. That needs a whole nother story on
right.
that.
But what I will say, you know, your energy from that day that I said, yo, this guy's.
And that's the same, not to cut you off, that's the same energy that anybody from Harlem know me with. I was going there telling them, like, yo, you should do, I see potential in you, do this. But it came off like, yo, I'm an old nigga telling them what to do.
Niggas don't want to hear that.
So you gotta, you know what I mean?
Well, that's the crazy part.
I was always telling, like, yo, Rue, we could do this. Yeah, the old room was the spot. The old room where all the dreams was at. When they had that first CD, come on, man.
That energy, you know, that I met you at in there. And I'm going to say this. And I'm going to say this with all respect. I said, yo, that kid is very animated.
Thank you, brother.
I said, yo, this kid is very animated, but the thing that I liked about you, you was comfortable in your skin. Now, maybe you was dealing with other shit I don't know about. But I'm telling you the person that I saw. And that's what gravitated to me. Because one time after Rue and them left, I flagged you down like, yo, what's up? What's your number? Yo, I still got your own number.
Yeah, you're right. You got me. He tried. That's why this happened late, because you was hitting my old number.
Right. So that goes to show you. Since then, even though I said, yo, I like them because just your energy, bro.
You know what's funny? You know what's funny? I literally thought about this pod like 2 days ago, and I was like, yo, they are doing it right now. You are moving like a machine.
We striving,
I'm like,
man.
Listen, this is no disrespect to anybody else. Shout out to Charms, because Charms is doing it. He was the first person out in this area I seen doing the podcast. But I think my podcast and your podcast has been coming back to back for the last couple months now.
Appreciate you,
and staying consistent is key. You gotta stay in front of these people so they can understand. Because if they don't get it the first time, they'll get it the second time. You feel me?
Or the third time, or the fourth time. But if you don't get it, you'll get it when we get there.
But I literally was like, yo, nah, I ain't calling. I could call Roof, but I ain't gonna do that. I don't know. But I literally was like, yo, I would like to get on the pod. That's why when you hit me, I was like, oh shit. Like, I was like, oh shit.
I'm gonna tell you something about that, and I'm gonna keep it. We gonna keep it a buck.
Go ahead.
Once I saw you started following. So okay, let me see. I'm sitting back. I said, what Poe doing? Okay, attention. Yo, I ain't gonna front it with the name. I said, all right.
You want detention on?
I said, all right. Let me see what's going. Because when I first saw it, yo, it took me right back to the old room.
Yeah, because
so
I kind of got.
I knew you was animated, so I said, yo, let me see what my man got going on. Watching the show, I see your co-host. Said, okay, he got some eye candy with him. Shout out to her. You know what
Shout out to Rod.
Yo, shout out to Rod. You know what I mean? You should have bought Rod too.
Listen,
we gonna leave that alone.
It was last minute.
Listen. We gonna leave that alone. Shout out to Rod.
No.
She can come back.
No, have her come here.
Right.
She don't need me.
Right.
So Rod come here. She has her books. She's been promoting.
Rod, and that's what I want to talk to you about. We gonna get Rod. I need you in the building. New year, Rod. I need you in the building. Putting it out there.
Set that up.
Please get at me or get at Kid. Get out the kid.
I'll hit her. I hit her to hit you.
But I looked at it, I saw it, and I enjoyed it. You know what I mean? And it took me back to something I saw on MTV years ago with the little white midget dude. I was running around acting all crazy and them white boys in the house.
Oh, the jackal, the ones that break their arms every
right.
Yeah, them.
It took me back to that place. It took me to that era because that was an era. Back then when they was doing that, no one was doing that.
They just did a movie like I think a year ago.
But they were at home doing it,
breaking their bones,
doing shit.
You know why they could do that, right?
You know what I'm saying?
They got good medical.
They got right. They just stayed. And they, you know what? This shit was crazy, but you know what? People fail to realize it caught the attention because MTV picked it up.
Yeah, and now everybody's looking.
Right. So when I seen it, I said, "Yo, my man is in his own lane. I like that, and he's being true."
That's the one thing I try to be.
You was being true.
That's why when the person I was talking about before was trying to like, yo, you shouldn't be reading off the. I'm like, bro, this is my shit. I don't give a flying.
I mean, everybody got their cups, but they ain't chipped in.
But that's true. But I'm just like, I'm doing this because number one, you gotta feel comfortable, and I didn't know how much I wanted to talk to people because I used to just talk to myself. Like I didn't know how much I wanted to talk and do this stuff till I was talking. Like, I would have conversations with my cousin. Shout out to Charnette. I blocked her, but it's still love. And no, because he was annoying me and I blocked her. But we just talk. Everything's good. I'm gonna unblock you, baby. Don't worry about it. We would talk, and I would go on these little rants and tirades of all the stuff that's going on now and stuff. And she'd just be sitting like, "Wow, da 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 da." We'd be like an hour, and I was like, "Yo, this could be recorded. Like this could be help somebody or maybe
content is everything."
Yeah, that's what it is. And I try to stay fresh with the content. I try to because guest wasn't the main reason. I wasn't planning to have guests really. It was just going to be me and a couple people, but
just talking. But
the reason why it was guests is because me and John got to a point where I was just like, John, I can't. It gotta. You know what I mean? Both ways.
Yeah, you can't just talk.
Nah, we met on some like it's like Laura and Harvey type shit. Like
it is what it is.
It's like some old school slap on whatchamacallit shit. But I was like, I can't do that all the time. So I was like, let me bring some people in. And I was like, yo, Shane doing this thing. Shout out to Bumpy. Bring Bumpy in. When I did Bumpy, I was like, all right. Yeah, I'm bringing. Then I bring Marlena in. I was like, all right. And she was talking to him. I was like, yo, you could do your own pod. Look, come on the pod. Let's put some dynamic to it.
Right.
You know what I mean? So that's how it grew. Like, it just grew like a snowball. And I just
How many episodes you up to now?
The real, I jumped ship on episodes. I jumped about 400 episodes, but no, I did because mine. So I'm like, I want to. This is how.
Hey, what the fuck you want to do? Man?
It's really like 30 something episodes to be 100. Like probably a little over 30, maybe 35 episodes. I count.
When I said I seen 430, I said this nigga did 434 episodes.
But it worked. See, perception is everything, baby.
Listen, it is what it is. That's why I asked you that.
I did that because I did when I said this is going to be the second season. I started and I shouted to my smoke shop. They no longer, but shout out to the people that ran the smoke shop. I did it on my 420 episode, and I did it at their shop. Okay. So I was like, hey, I like 420. Let me just go 421. So I just kept going like that. You know what I mean? And then I just like, I'm not going to drop the ball. Let's just go. I could jump back at any time, but I know perception, what people see. Because right now, if you go online, YouTube, Instagram, whatever the hell you go online, and there's a picture of me, and there's a picture, and there's words by it that say this, that, and the third, you're going to see it, and you're going to believe it right off the back. You ain't going to do no research, no nothing.
Facts.
You know what I mean? You're going to get Jesse Smollett. Pause.
Wow.
You've been Jesse Smollett.
Wow. Hey, it is what it is. I mean, it's the truth, though. But yo, man, you know, it's 2022, man.
That's right. New year, new gear. Let's go. I want all energy. I want everybody doing what they doing. And I got to shout out to the pandemic because really the pandemic was the energy, was the battery in the back to like, nobody's doing nothing. Let's just do it. You know what I mean? And they gave a lot of people that wanted to do what they wanted to do
an opportunity to do what they do.
To do that. Shout out to you. Because I didn't know, like, listen, when Rue told me he was doing a pod, I was like, after blue, I was like, all right. Oh, you got your mans on there. All right, cool. And then it was like, it's your joint because this nigga out. I was
I mean, yo, shout out to the kid, man. I mean, I say this every time, man. He was definitely the battery. This was never.
And he's definitely the battery now. He wants everybody to
and then that's my guy, man. Shout out to We Out Travel,
please.
man.
Yes.
But like I said, it's 2022 approaching, man. What's the goals for the new year, man?
The goal
before we close up, let them know, man.
The goals for the new year is definitely to up the ante on the podcast. We're going to get everything rocking like this and stuff. It's going to take a slow roll, but we're going to get everything rocking. There's going to be new music out. I'm not going to put a date on that. I'm going to be 100. I'm way more focused on just building the pod right now. I'm way more, but everything else goes with it. Even the music, there'll be theme music for it. Probably be one of my records. So yes, I do have my hands in a lot of pots, but we cooking still. We still got a recipe.
Still got your apron on.
Yeah. We still do. And to be 100, I love this because I just love staying in y'all faces. Like attention whores for real. Like I'm really.
Yeah, he's in the building. Really, attention whore is in the building.
Really, yeah, like 100%. Like I really was going to stay in y'all faces. Like yeah, he put this up. Yeah, he put that up. Yeah, he DM'd me this. Yeah, he DM'd me that. Yes, I'm gonna do it until y'all realize I'm gonna do it. I don't give a fuck.
You ain't going.
I got nothing to lose. I got nothing to lose. Everything in the game embedded in my brain.
Yeah. That's what it is, man. You know what? That's
shout out to all the entrepreneurs, the upcoming entrepreneurs. Shout out to everybody. Shout out to where we at. I don't want to mess up.
GS, man. GS is in the building.
Yeah, I don't want to fuck it up.
Nah, shout out to GS is in the building.
Shout out to GS Radio.
You know
Let's get this popping. You know what I mean? I'm definitely gonna have Rod come talk to you. You know what I mean? We're gonna do that. This is the last one for the year.
Yeah, man. This is I just want to get ready to close this thing out, man. Shout out to you for coming through. Appreciate you.
Yeah, last minute coming through. You know what? Yeah,
you came through. Shout out to all my guests that came up there, man. I really want to say I appreciate you guys. You guys did a lot for this podcast. Without y'all, it ain't no me. Shout out to the opportunity to be on GS. And shout out to my co-host, man, the mayor, my guy, Rudy, the commissioner. I call him the commissioner.
Yeah, he
I call him the coordinator, the offensive coordinator.
We out travel group. Let's get that going.
You know,
he gonna take y'all to Dubai and everywhere.
Yeah, we going to Dubai, man. and it's not no hype. Let's clear. Let's be very clear.
Serious.
Go on the page.
Yeah. Check that for real.
Check the page. We out travel, please, because we got some episodes coming up from Denver.
Yeah, that's coming soon.
We got Dubai. We got Black Love Weekend coming up in March. Like,
that part 2 to the the sequel.
Yeah, please, man. Just log in if y'all love to travel. I see a lot of my followers. A lot of people I know y'all traveling. Lock in with us. We are definitely doing it. Yo, listen, it doesn't have. If you got a crew that y'all want to travel, just y'all, lock in with us. We handle all that. And I say we because that's the team, that's the sponsor. It is what it is. It's your boys, the voice of the culture. Man.
I just wanted to say shout out to everybody. Shout out to everybody that was on my podcast. Shout out to everybody that was on his podcast. Shout out to T the Teacher. She was one of the first people on the pod, and I'm one of the last. That's family. Shout out to the Taylor family. You know what I mean? They're going through some rough stuff with families over family time right now, but shout out to everybody there. And, thanks for the opportunity. I'm glad I'm here. I'm glad I could share my experiences with everybody.
Appreciate you, King.
And look out for Attention Wars Podcast on YouTube and on Instagram. Catch me at Klaw under what's that?
Underscore?
Klaw Po with a K. That's me. Hit me up for anything, boss.
Yo, I'm out of here. It's your boy.
Peace.
Stay blessed.
Peace.
I'm out of
here. I'm coming right now.